With record high temperatures hitting our region, local health professionals tell us they worry about folks heading outside, and we've been reminding you not to leave your child or pet in a hot car. Let's check back in with WYMT's Dakota Makris live as he shows us just how hot it can get inside of a car with no air conditioning. He's down at the Perry County Park. Dakota?
Hey, good afternoon, Steve. Yeah, so at 4 o'clock I had some audio issues, so I apologize about that. But what I was saying at 4 o'clock is, if you'll pan over here, Dennis, the analog thermometer was around 80 degrees inside of the air-conditioned car. The car is now off, and the digital one was about 65. Now, it's been, well, like 30 minutes since I turned the car off. The digital thermometer, the analog one, excuse me, has tapped out. 120 degrees, it's done. Now this one on here keeps climbing. It is at 116.8, so we'll say 117. And that one, I believe, taps out at about 130 degrees, and it's not stopped climbing since. So I could not imagine what it would be like if you were just in this hot car right now with no air conditioning. And I do like to report there is a nice breeze over here at Perry County Park, so it's not that bad. But again, don't forget, just make sure your kids are not in the car or your pets, because again, could not imagine that. So for now, I'm live in Hazard. Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
And that's right, Dakota. That's why we say always check the back seat. Look before you lock when it is this hot. Thank you, Dakota. Taking one for the team out there this afternoon. It is oppressively hot and humid, and you saw in just 30 minutes, it may only be 90 outside, but it feels in the car like 120. That's why we say look before you lock. Temperatures, we've already tied the record unofficially at London. We have beat it at Jackson. 90 was the record. They're sitting at 91 right now. Dew points not helping. It's muggy. It's very, very humid outside. Middle and upper 70s for those dew point values, making it feel like anywhere between 103 and 107. Wayne topped out at a heat index of 111 earlier, and we had that heat index yesterday in Ashland of 113, though I will say that the dew point was running a little high on that sensor. That may be why it's out today. Pinpoint Doppler, clean sweep, nothing to cool you down. We did have clouds lingering just a little while longer today. That's what helped keep it a little bit cooler, a little bit longer, but cooler's a relative term. Mid-70s out there for tonight. We always show those heat safety tips we were talking about. Look before you lock. If you have to be outside, light, loose-fitting clothing. Take plenty of breaks. Drink plenty of water. Wear some sunscreen, and always, of course, check up on the sick, the elderly, anyone who may not have air conditioning, because it can get hairy in a hurry when you get temperatures this hot. I'll have the very latest, though, on how long this particular heat wave lasts and when we can finally see some relief coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Lightning and straight-line winds in Ohio took down trees and power lines Monday night. American Electric Power of Ohio reported more than 145,000 of its customers were without power this morning. American Electric reported that crews worked through the night to restore power to customers. However, more bad weather during the next few days could affect restoration times and cause even more outages. June 14th marks Flag Day, a time of the year when we honor Old Glory and show our appreciation for those who fought so we could fly it freely. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was in Prestonsburg to see that community's own Flag Day ceremony unfold.
A day when all eyes are on the Stars and Stripes.
We always want to honor our veterans as we, every time we have an opportunity, be it Memorial Day, Flag Day, Veterans Day.
Local veterans, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and other community members came out to take part in a flag-raising ceremony in Prestonsburg.
It's an honor for all veterans to watch the civilian places put flags up.
Taking the time to honor what the flag represents and remembering those who gave us the freedom to fly it.
And it's important for us to recognize these veterans as often as we can, because the sacrifices that they make to make us sleep a little easier at night.
Following the flag-raising ceremony, a check was presented to the VFW Post 5839 in Prestonsburg.
The county is gracious enough to come up with about $50,000 so we can finish that homeless shelter that we've started a couple years ago.
Honoring the flag and giving back to those who continue to pledge allegiance. In Prestonsburg, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
The VFW chapter, along with the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, will also be hosting a flag retirement ceremony in Archer Park tonight at 6. This Flag Day, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is using the occasion to send a message. On Monday, she directed that several 51-star flags be hung along Pennsylvania Avenue in support of D.C. statehood. In a statement, the mayor said these flags should serve as a reminder to Congress and the nation that the 700,000 tax-paying American citizens living in D.C. demand to be recognized. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th siege on the U.S. Capitol makes an adjustment to its schedule. The hearing, originally planned for tomorrow, Wednesday, is postponed. Sources say a technical issue led to the delay. The committee's work is expected to resume on Thursday now. On Monday, the committee detailed how then-President Donald Trump refused to listen to advisors who told him he lost the 2020 election. They added that Trump instead took the advice of his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to claim the election was rigged. A 14-year-old who fell to his death at a Florida amusement park in March exceeded the ride's weight limit by nearly 100 pounds. Tyree Sampson was on the Orlando Freefall Drop Tower ride at Icon Park. The owner's manual for the tower lists the ride's weight limit as 287 pounds. Sampson was 383 pounds. In April, a firm hired by the state to investigate the death found adjustments had been made to Sampson's seat and one other. The firm found the accident was caused by Sampson not being properly secured in the seat, mostly due to, quote, misadjustment of the harness proximity sensor. The family has filed a wrongful death suit. A new report says the leading cause of overdose deaths in Kentucky last year was fentanyl. Julia Sandor talked to officials about the latest numbers and why this continues to be a concern for Kentuckians.
Through the doors of recovery centers, they say they've seen an increase in fentanyl use, which is now the leading cause of overdose deaths in Kentucky.
Folks that used to come in saying, I've been using heroin, are now saying, no, I just use fentanyl.
Dave Thomas from Roaring Brook Recovery says all different drugs can be laced with fentanyl. And the latest Kentucky drug overdose report shows it was found in over 1,600 drug overdose deaths in the state. Van Ingram of the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy, or ODCP, says a major factor in drug distribution is the production cost and profit.
They're not producing heroin anymore. They're buying chemicals, precursor chemicals to create fentanyl and fentanyl analogs, and that's what they're shipping across this country. And if their business model means that some people die along the way, they really don't seem to have a problem with that.
Estill County had the most deaths for per capita and is followed by Gallatin County. And although drug prevention isn't always easy, Ingram and Thomas both say proper education on the topic could help the ongoing problem. And the goal for the ODCP office this year is to increase clinical care and offer transitional housing and jobs for people in recovery. In Lexington, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
In the overdose report, it says the governor also announced they will be trying to make recovery-ready communities to help people fighting addiction at no cost. Now to some international headlines. Jailed politician and Vladimir Putin's most outspoken critic, Alexei Navalny, is missing from the penal colony where he has been serving his term. According to Navalny's spokesperson, the lawyers came to see the jailed Kremlin critic and were informed he wasn't there. Neither the family nor the lawyers had been informed of his transfer. CNN has reached out to Navalny's lawyers for comment. President Joe Biden will visit Saudi Arabia next month. Some see the move as a reversal of his campaign promise to make the kingdom a pariah. The president insists the trip is not tied to energy issues, even as U.S. gas prices hit $5 a gallon in much of the country. President Biden's move to normalize relations with the Saudis is being met with criticism from some human rights advocates. The White House says the president will outline his affirmative vision for U.S. engagement in the region, noting Saudi Arabia has been a strategic partner of the United States for nearly 8 decades. The Attorney General's Office of Cuba announced sanctions for 381 people in connection with their participation in anti-government protests that took place in Cuba on July 11, 2021, where Cubans called for President Miguel Diaz-Canel to step down. In a statement released Monday, the Attorney General said that 381 people were sanctioned for sedition, sabotage, robbery with force and violence, attacks, contempt, and public disorder. 297 were given prison sentences between 5 and 25 years. The statement said that the events of July 11, 2021 threatened the constitutional order and stability of the socialist state. Coming up on First at 4, the results of a new study into the antiviral drug Paxlovid and reports of people dealing with rebound COVID-19 symptoms after taking it.
But first, very hot air continues to work through the mountains. You see the advisory is in effect. I've got the details on how long it lasts coming up.